A website is a salesperson disguised as a brochure. In the order of appearance, a good salesperson persuades, and the brochure they leave behind validates what a customer's decision will be. Many companies design websites in a reverse manner. They build this website brochure with the expectation that a customer will call their salesperson to validate their choice. Evidence of this is the Learn More button. Learn More is validating language. It says, we already know that you've made a choice. You can find that validation here, which is probably not what you're trying to say. Still, it can come off that way. When someone comes to a business website, they already have a personal interest in your business. And with that one phrase that's probably on your website right now, it seems like you're saying, buy, don't buy, learn more, do whatever, I don't care. You lost an opportunity. Find that phrase and others like it and give each button a mission and purpose for being. I'll show you how. Let's make it better. This is Recomposed. I'm Zachary Cavanell, co-founder and strategist at State of Assembly, a branding agency here in the U.S. Any clever tagline or marketing campaign is worthless if it doesn't in some way generate a sale. And phrases like learn more, read more, find out more, discover more, they're not locking in deals. The reality of business sales is that it takes more than one interaction, especially that first-time sale. You think customers go to your website more than once? Yes, they could be. Everything that you've heard about the best CTAs on a website is probably correct. You've probably read a quote that says, our click-through rate went up twice, and that's not a lie. Put it into context. Why does your button say learn more? Why does it not say buy more or talk to a salesperson? It doesn't say that because you know a customer needs to be persuaded. The same way a good salesperson would build a rapport, gain trust. As a good business leader, you know that every decision takes more than data and more than logic. You know that. So what's the most effective call to action for these types of content? Give them a reason that has value to them. What's in it for them? What's in it for them if they click this button? Here's an example. Let's look. We built a copy of this website from a notable data visualization company. And since we're here to recompose and not embarrass, we've changed their names. So on the home page, you've got your headline and a sub-headline that supports. You got calls to action, and you got offers and features. And when you get to the middle here, it all kind of becomes dull. And it seems like someone has said that the content had to be there but wasn't quite sure of the reason. And as a business leader, you know that successful businesses have a mission and purpose. And this is done to make sure that the decisions and the actions from CEO to employees are made with the same intent, to push a singular vision. That same success can be duplicated when you make a specific mission and purpose for your website. And it can be duplicated when you make a specific mission and purpose for a button. Every action should create and sustain momentum. It moves your potential customers closer to a purchase. Does learn more move someone to a purchase, or simply leave them without gravity and without momentum? For instance, in this analytics for everyone section, you can make an educated guess that the mission and purpose of this section is to show that the services have benefits from many levels of an organization. So what's the mission and purpose of a Learn More button? The mission and purpose of that is to keep a reader's momentum by means of a reason to move to the next page. That was a mouthful, and since this is Recomposed, let me recompose that for you. The mission and purpose of the Learn More button is to keep the reader's momentum by telling them how you'll fix their pain. Here's how you write it. You relieve their pain, not physical pain. It's whatever they see as their current or future problem. Tell them how relief from their pain is on the other side of this button. So for analysts, what's on the other side of this button? Well, right here in the headline, smooth the path from raw data to powerful insights. That line seems to tell me what pain will be relieved for an analyst. So let's recompose it for a button. Let's go with from raw data to insights. Other than straight duplicating the sentence, why get rid of the word smooth? Well, it's the opposed to rule. So would any competitor say the opposite of that? We offer a harsh path from raw data to powerful insights. It's assumed. If a hotel advertises clean rooms, you're suspicious. There's no need for that word. Few words, fast read. And why get rid of the word powerful? Insights by definition is a deep understanding, and that's powerful. In this case, powerful insights is simply saying the same thing twice. So let's move to executives. What do they get out of a click here? Let's look. Good decisions start with data. Does that relieve any executive's pain or current or future problem? Does it give them a reason to move on to the next page? No. So what about empower your team with the world's leading analytics platform to make decisions that make an impact? It touches on an executive's pain, which is lack of time. But this line, data-savvy business leaders use data to build trust and agility and reduce uncertainty. That is some marketing speak, and they buried the lead. So let's recompose this one. Let's say reduce uncertainty and build trust. That looks a little long, but here's the deal. With any writing, you have to give it time. So we're going to walk away from this for a little bit and come back with clear eyes. And we'll recompose from there. Oh, and you should subscribe to this channel. Okay, so coming in at the end of the day, I've got my sweater on, and I've forgotten about what I wrote, and I have fresh eyes to review. So because everyone's a critic, and since you're your own worst critic, let's use that to our advantage. When you recompose your own writing, what should your mission and purpose be? You're going to want to reduce the length, stay within context, and keep intent of the original mission and purpose. For this button, the mission and purpose is to keep a reader's momentum by telling them how you'll fix their pain. You can see that I've finished off the last two for IT and business owners, but let's start with the analyst. So for this first one, we're going to break our rule here, and I'm going to add the word go and then trade out plural of insight. The subject of a sentence is the thing that takes action. This should be the same for any marketing you write. If you think that the subject of your marketing should be your company, then we should probably have a heart-to-heart. The person who takes the action, the subject of your marketing, is your customer. By adding the words go, I've made the reader, the customer, the implied subject. Go is also a powerful word, and it is a call to action. Go. So why the plural from insight? It paints a clearer picture by being specific. The singularity brings your mind to a moment when everything changes. When Luke finds out who his father is, blowing out birthday candles. When Joe won't love Lori the way that he wants. For the executive section, uncertainty is a long word. And as an executive, you know things are uncertain. So let's trade it out for doubt. Doubt is not a pain that an executive wants. You can feel uncertain, but you don't want to have doubt. There's no conviction in doubt. So here again, to paint a picture, we're going to add the word there. This is a kind of a wink and a nod to say we know who you're talking about. And though we don't know, the reader is able to paint a specific picture for their mind. Maybe a customer, employees, or Catherine, head of data on the 5th floor. So for the IT section, we had governed data and analytics at scale. So don't think this speaks to IT pain. IT is about control and safety of business environments. So it seems like their pains could come from the lack of control or resources. So how about this instead? Resources to control data at scale. Now for business users. All right, talk about doubt. If you're an employee, your whole persona is about showing your value. No value, no job. Better decisions are informed decisions is fine. This was lifted off the page that the link was going to. However, a trick you can use to bring in a new perspective to your writing is back to front rearrangement. If you move informed decisions to the front, it seems to hit on the pain that many people have about showing and proving their own value. If you make an informed decision, no one will blame you if things go sideways, because it's informed. The opposite is not always true. Better decisions are not always informed decisions. Some of the best ideas in the world are gut decisions. Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, just gut. Not a great proof point for a data visualization company relying on the power of data. So this feels better. Informed decisions make better decisions, though I feel like that's too long. So how about make your decisions informed ones? Though we've moved informed back to the back, we wouldn't have gotten there without back to front rearrangement. Now we have a shorter call to action that speaks to the pains of a business user, and it's beautiful. Look at these side by side. A website is a salesperson disguised as a brochure. Which of these sales pitches seems like a company that cares about their customers? Which of these speaks to the individual pains and keeps momentum moving towards purchase? We all stand on the shoulders of others, and in this video description, there are resources for deeper knowledge on what you learned today. Subscribe to this channel, it mostly benefits you. Be kind, be calm, be intelligent, and be strong. Make it better. I'm Zachary Cavanell from State of Assembly, and this has been Recomposed. Recomposed, 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 recomposed.